How about now? It should here now. I caught it. We should be good. $5. $5. $5. Good now. Good now. Well, let's get started. As always, in that YouTube chat, there's our Top Step risk disclosure. The Nightbot was there. I seen it. There's that risk disclosure. Everything we go over is for educational purposes only. Let's get started. Before I do anything, let's take a look at this. Look at this Dom. We see Andrew in the chat pointed out. Look, there's 400 sitting at 541 and 300 sitting at 542. There's a bigger order. I don't know if it got filled. I don't know what price. It was sitting at what price? 550. I don't think that one got filled. It may have pulled it. Good morning, Aaron. Aaron Trades, host of our London Open, right? London Open, Aaron. London session has provided some banger trades as well. Let's take a look at these markets, shall we? We'll keep an eye on those orders. That 300 sitting at 542, 400 sitting at 541. That's something to keep an eye. I'll keep an eye on that. But let's take a look at these markets. How's everybody doing? How's everybody trading? Let's get the music back on. And is the music too loud? Just let me know. We want Jay. Jay will join us on Wednesday, and Baron is going to be joining me on Thursday. I got Baron, everybody. I need to take PTO so I can trade with Aaron because he definitely has some bangers. Yes. Butch, I'm solid. Yeah, I've been trading for most of my life. Half my life now, and I'm 31 years old. Been trading. I've seen traders come and go. I've seen influencers come and go. They are loudest when they're trading well. Then they start to simmer down and quiet when they start to struggle. I've been here. I've been here a while. Not filled, 555, so they must have pulled it. Must have pulled it. Baron trades. 31 man. I just started 7 months ago. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time. Now, I'm good. I'm not the best, though. I've never said, I will never say that I'm the best. I think it's very inappropriate for anybody to assume or say that they're the best. We're just traders trying to make money in the market. Trying to make a living. That's all we're doing, right? I mean, it doesn't matter whether we are, quote, the best. We just want to trade and make money, and we love what we do. We want that freedom. In the Top Step payouts, Top Step is one thing, but there's some absolutely amazing traders that are not on social media. You'll never hear them post. You'll never hear them on any social media. They just keep to themselves. They trade and they live their life. And they'll trade. They could trade circles around me. They make me look like a newbie when it comes to trading. Now, let's get to these markets, shall we? It's the end of April, right? It's the end of the month, so we have to understand that. It's Tuesday night. It's Wednesday's price action. We have earnings coming out. Let's take a brief look at the economic events coming. Not too much. I mean, maybe some data coming overseas and not too much, right? Some speakers. PCE in the morning is going to be a big one. PCE tomorrow morning, April 30th. Inflation data coming out. That's going to be a big one, obviously. And we have a Bank of Japan tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we're going to see some volatility, maybe. Bank of Japan statements. So, other than that, this market's been pretty dang calm compared to what we were used to back when, we still, these markets are still volatile, but it's getting a lot more calm. You can see how this is an hourly chart. We've been kind of in this range. I don't know, this channel. Is that fair to say? this channel here on the NASDAQ. This is an hourly chart. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out for a minute and take a look at the daily. I don't know what to think of the daily. We haven't really went anywhere. We're just kind of consolidating in this zone. Nothing too crazy on the daily chart. One thing is, we are holding above these highs. So that's bullish, right? The fact that we're holding above these highs around these 19,400s. We have inflation data tomorrow morning. We have earnings. So, you know, maybe these markets are just consolidating, waiting to see what happens. We're waiting for news. We're waiting for data. We're waiting for information. And sometimes when that's the case, we see consolidation. And quiet markets typically go up and to the right. And it's nice to see that these markets are quiet. And what's happening is we're seeing these markets quietly go up and to the right. That's refreshing to see that. And today, I traded the New York session and I was looking for a choppy day and we got that. And it looks like, what does this happen around noon? Lunchtime, we did break out and then we're right back down, right in the middle, 19,560s. And this is just a nice channel to trade here in the NASDAQ. Now, the question, I think, is we have inflation data tomorrow. Are we going to sell off to the bottom of this channel? Or are we going to rally back up to the top, or are we going to chop around? We're down 0.4% already tonight from where we had settlement. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Anything crazy on this 5-minute chart? Not really. Not really. I mean, it looks like we've had a little bit of sell-off since the market closed. We are down a little bit. We were trying to hold these 19,040s. We're holding as support so far. I talked about those orders. Those big orders are still there. 542. Yeah, I'll keep that. We'll keep that right there so you can see them. See these big orders. 542 and 541. That's still there. I would like to see the market sell off and break down. Maybe we come back down into this zone that was settlement yesterday. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm always curious. What the heck what are these? Anybody know? It's anybody's guess. 300 contracts, 400 contracts. There was 100 earlier at 550. They don't get filled. They're spoofing. They're like, what's their job? Are these algorithms? I don't know. But sometimes it's just weird. It really is to watch these, and always makes me wonder, makes me curious, like what really is going on. Greetings from Colombia. Greetings, Phoenix. George Soros. Yeah, it's interesting to see and pay attention. So I have this. You can see this is the volume. I decided to put that on there tonight, and for my slow market, so we could see if there's a big order that comes through and we could tell if something gets filled or not, rather than pulling up like the time and sells and watching from there. It's a little visual representation. So anyway, not much is going on in nice slow markets. Maybe we could look at some overnight trades. That's looking more and more like a better possibility now this market started to calm down from what it used to be. Those 100-point moves. I mean, we're still getting volatile movements, but it's nothing like it used to, like earlier this month. Like, that's 300 points in a day. Not too bad. It's a lot better than what we were seeing, 300 points up, 300 points down in like every 30 minutes, it felt like. But let's look at crude oil. I'm going to make sure. I missed the 100-point moves. Yeah, you get used to them, and then the markets change, and then you end up missing it, right? And then you have to adjust. Then you have to adjust again. That's what we do as traders. We are continuing to find ways to make adjustments. That's what we should do. Let's take a look at crude oil. Crude oil's been just selling off, right? That's a 5-minute chart. Let's take a look at an hourly chart. And yeah, sure enough, what did we do? We did break down. We did break through this level of support, and we came right to, I mean, almost basically hit $60 a barrel. Can we see a continuation? I don't see why not. Maybe we could come back down and test 58.50. That was a good breakdown. Coach Jay and I, we talked about this last night. You know, support, and then, you know, if we do pick a direction, break down. It wasn't a flush though. It wasn't where it's kind of a weird. This is kind of weird. This is the market. This market's acting a little bit weird, almost like how it broke and it went up. It's kind of doing the same thing as like when it goes down. It's not a just big flush, right? You see where this market sells off and it's like a few hours, a few candlesticks where it's a sell off. It's just kind of choppy and slowly grinding down. So it's not like a panic sell here in crude. It's just very directional, grind down, uniform. Let's take a look at the Nikkei. Kenny Segi, if you're in the chat, mentioned the Nikkei on Twitter, was talking about a possible short, and I think it's playing out the way that you said. I don't see you in the chat yet, but if you are, big shout out to you. Kenny posted a trend line, a very simple one. Simplicity works. Yeah, there you are, Segi. Yes, I'm short from 36.068. And yeah, the Nikkei, which is the Japanese market, it broke through this and we're starting to sell off. Where can we go? Maybe there's a level of support down here towards 35,600s. The first and immediate support you can see right at this pivot, you know, 35,830s. But great call out. Credit where it's due. And now let's take a look at gold. Everyone's favorite. Everyone's favorite. I like the shorts on this. But shorting gold has not been a winning. It's not been a winning game plan, right? With this type of market and being so bullish. It's just, what do we do? This market's kind of doing what NASDAQ's doing in terms of its decreasing volatility. Maybe we're just consolidating, waiting for news, waiting for something. We're right in the middle of this range, right in the middle, right around 33.24. And you could honestly, at this point, it's like flip a coin which way we're going to go. I do not want to really trade this. Gold, I took a loss on gold yesterday. It was a choppy one. Yeah, it's choppy. It's right in the middle of this range. I mean, I want to favor the shorts to see if we could come back down and maybe test something. Maybe test this trend line. I don't know where I put that trend line. Maybe test these lows. But then who wants to short gold anyway? Just right in the middle. Maybe we get some type of direction tonight. That's where I'm at. Gold has been super choppy. It's a tough one. Sell this. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's not moving much. Still those big orders sitting on the books. I'm going to be watching them. I'm so curious on what if they're going to get filled. I don't see really any big orders. Maybe there was some come in at, 52 3/4. There's 161, but not much. It's been kind of another slow markets. Maybe we can start talking about some overnight trades. Crap, too late to short gold. I don't know. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in. 5 minute looks like we're already testing these 20s. So the next level, I could see this market, if we do break down, we could test these 15s for a breakdown trade. Break support, go test the next level of support. Could be a possibility. That rejection. How about some guerrilla fighting? We spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time last night talking about guerrillas and some fun hypotheticals, right? Are my texts visible? I never get an answer with Topstep lives. You never get an answer. I'm in it. Chris Powers. Sweep resistance. Oh, you're selling NQ. That's where you're at. I could see it. I could see NASDAQ possibly making a break and coming down to test yesterday's settlement. Maybe testing some of this consolidation. If you draw an arrow, it will come. Arrows like this. That's how trading works, everybody. You draw an arrow, and the market does just that. Oh, wow. Okay. It did just that. And the order's gone. Those big orders are just gone. I don't see them anymore. Nothing got filled. Those spoofers. Short in the queue, 567. I'm not seeing, yeah, no more big orders. They're gone. It doesn't look like any big orders got filled either. Well, great shout out on that sell off right there. Told you these indicators, this indicator, this arrow, you draw a line and the market goes that way. Where's that risk disclosure? That's a joke, everyone. It's a joke. Why do you pay so much attention to DOM instead of time and sells? I place my orders on the DOM. I don't make any trades based off of the DOM, and it's nice to see those orders. And then you could see the orders get, like, on this volume. Yeah, you could see it get filled, right? There's 13 contracts traded at 36.25, but I don't trade based off this. I'm a technical trader. I know Coach Jay looks at times and sells. I kind of had a feeling that those orders were not going to get filled. They'll just pull them. We're down 0.5%. Any news been dropping? It's been quiet at nights. Trump. Putin wants peace. Oh, interview. Is he in this ABC interview? We're getting some headlines about the president. So maybe that could start bringing some volatility. His 100th day. Peace equals sell gold. Gold selling off. It's just an interview. It's talks. How much is this market going to react on those? But so far, this NASDAQ is selling off. Great short. I see there's a few traders in a short. What's the tilt at? Let's take a look at the tilt. Tilt is 66% short. It's flushing now. Yeah, that's not slow markets price action. That's a 30-point banger on 5 minutes. 25K electric truck? What am I missing? Covering soon. Why can't we look away from the charts? Why can't we? We're addicted. We're addicted. That's the good algo, Sean. Whenever politicians speaking, you're flat, so you don't have to worry about the headline risk. Nothing too crazy tonight. Now, where can we go? I mean, we're basically at this area I was looking at. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out and see how that hourly chart's looking. Still pretty heavy. We still got some room to go. Let's look at the daily. Sellers printing. Sellers are very happy right now. That's for sure. Where's that daily? We still have, I don't know, can we come down and test 77s? Can we come down? Maybe test 500 evens? I'm long. Why is that? Why are you long? I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm always curious of the reasonings. Tuckman was on CNN again wearing his black hoodie. He's always wearing a hoodie, isn't he? Middle of summer. Middle of summer, he wears a hoodie. The double zippered hoodie. Okay, I think I seen a big order. There's a big order. There you go. There's the big order. Anyone see that one? I think it's sitting right at 500 is even. Yeah. 230 contracts sitting at 500 even. Can we see it? Can we see 500 come into play tonight? The 500 even? Maybe we take a look below 500. Is there an opportunity? That's the next question. Gold's not really doing much. That's why NQ. Let's take a look at Nikkei. Shout out to you, Segi. How's that Nikkei trade doing? Looks like it's doing pretty well. Well, we watch this. How come you don't use oscillators? I don't use indicators in like on the chart, like any oscillators. To me, it distracts me. Yeah, those 234 contracts. I could see this market selling off a little bit. Let's take a look at the micros. Let's see if we can find a scalp. I might have missed it. Everyone. It was going to be a scalp to the short side. A scalp to the short side. There's still 20 points left. There's still 20 points left to get to 500. You could still play. Would you take a long gold overnight? No, gold's not at an area where I want to hold a trade overnight because we're right in the middle of this zone. And I'm also looking and thinking of overnight trades. Looking for overnight trades. We're kind of in the middle of everything right now. NASDAQ, gold. So I'm not seeing any overnight trades that are too attractive. How am I able to see those big orders on the DOM? You just pull up the DOM, and if you have the depth of market, you could see, down to up and down so many levels. Level 2 data. Yes, sir. Thanks. Level 2 data. Does it make you a better trader? I don't think it makes you a better trader. It could be a useful tool. Where's the tilt? I have mine down here. Tilt. 61% short the NASDAQ. Yeah, Pooch, it does not. I would not tell traders because you purchased level 2 data makes you a better trader. Nah. That was a short on that bounce, huh? We could take a short scalp. I'm looking for 500 to come into play. Let's see if we can get a bounce to short this. For a scalp. Not an overnight trade, a scalp. Maybe I might miss this one, everyone. Top of the hour incoming in 5 minutes. Do you have slippage in slow markets at live? Yes, sir. Slippage is more common during this time of night than during fast markets, usually. Depending on volatility, right? Like, look at this. Like, there might have been some slippage right here, depending on how fast this market's moving. With me and Mandy. Oh, look, 123. Oh, that's never mind. That's. You guys, you want to watch this? I don't mind. We can watch the DOM, the depth of the markets. Getting a bounce now. I want a little bit more of a bounce to short into this. And Gorilla Trades. Late nights and Gorilla Trades. Yeah, Jay's going to be joining me tomorrow. And then Baron. Thursday night. How has it been? How has it been having Jay on Mondays and Wednesdays? Thank you. Works well. I'd like a bounce at 500. I'm looking for this market to sell off down to 500. It's been awesome. It's good. Jay is a pro. Jay's one of the best. Great, great. All positive. Love it. We work well together. Yeah, it's a true friend. Jay is a true friend. No negativity. No negativity. That's a big difference. I tend to gravitate towards, people and traders that don't spend a lot of time dealing with the negative BS. Life's too short. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? We're both old. Come on, we're not that old. We're in our 30s. Yeah, positivity. Positivity. Life's too short. Life's too short to hate any individual and to talk any grade school tactics. Great trades and calm math and technicals. Yeah. The sexiest Spanish accent. Well, maybe we'll have a Spanish class one night. Well, I'll have to understand some of these Spanish trading terms, though. Spanish and trading terms are a little bit different than just regular Spanish. Don't be a trader hater. You don't like it? You want everything in Spanish. You don't want anything in Spanish. No me gusta. No me gusto. Let's see if we can sell off down. It's tempting to sell. It really is tempting to short this market to 500, but I'm going to wait. Mr. Dakota, did your CPA... Fun fact, I have been studying to get a degree, to get a CFA, a Chartered Financial Analyst. You're in Spain but can't speak Spanish? You better practice it up. Practice it up. Practice up that Spanish. It's always nice to know a second language. You're trying. Oh, Paul. Okay. Yeah, you learned that. You're getting authentic tacos from Taco Bell. I'm a CPA and I've lost more than most people will earn in 15 lifetimes. Ooh. I've lost more trading as well. We're getting a bounce. We're getting a bounce right there. I'm glad I'm being patient, waiting. Let's see if we could have a bounce and then maybe look for a short into that 500 level. Focus and trade. That's what we're looking. We're watching these markets, seeing opportunity, having fun conversation. As always, the top of the hour is now. You're on the road to profits. Closed my short on that pullback. Plus 1,500. Great work. Great work. I have not watched anything from Al Brooks yet. Did you hit GameStop in January? I lost some money on GameStop. Why get a CFA? Because I love education. I love education. Andrew, yeah. Then I could, right? Then I could offer legal financial advice when I get my CFA. Yep, I love education. Do I need it? No, I don't need a CFA. I don't need my Series 3 or Series 30, but never stop learning. Never stop learning. I'm gonna overdose on education. Dakota, you still were looking at a 100 tick chart today. Let me guess, you lost big in New York. I don't know what you mean by that. Lost big in New York. Did you watch the New York session? I'm on a pretty good win streak, everyone. A study. Can you explain tilt percentages? I don't know. I can't say this is exactly how it's, but it's percentage of Topstep traders short, right? Here, this is an aggregate trader sentiment analysis of all Topstep simulated traders. There's the disclaimer. I don't know the math behind it. It's just, here's my view. Short, 49% of traders in this market, in a simulated environment, would be short, and it goes through the details. To me, it's, I only like to, the only time I would ever pay attention to this is if it gets to like an extreme, right? Like if it's 90% short, I'm like, oh my gosh, why are 90% of traders short this market? All right, let's get into a short. Guess what? Just because I'm short and I'm not in this stat, because this is a live account. Let's give us some room. Let's give us some room to work with. Let's look for these 500s. Let's see if we could get it. Get it. Let's see where's 500? 500, 500. Let's see if we can get it. Go should start a real prop firm that focuses on live trading over eval fees. I am partnered with Topstep for a reason, Charles. There is some amazing stuff. Some amazing stuff. And by the way, I am going to be having Baron join me Thursday. And Coach Jay and I talked about this last night, but I'm still looking for traders. Join. Come on, air. Come on, anybody. Fill it out. There's that form. It's in the YouTube chat. You tried the 100 tick chart, but you don't get it. That's okay. It's okay to not understand something. You don't have. There's so many different ways to trade these markets. Understanding one. And look at gold selling off. Gold short. Gold is working to the short side. NASDAQ sticking into these upper 20s. Who's in short gold? I took profits on the Nikkei 800 on one contract. Just building a buffer. Great work. Ever had an XFA up nice, switch to another one, and not canceled order and blow an account? I have not. It's very important to go through and double check everything so that doesn't happen. I've heard stories where traders are switching accounts and they leave open orders, and it's a recipe for disaster. What was I doing before a full-time trader? So I worked in supply chain. Supply chain. Oh man. Let's get out of that. Let's get out of that. I don't want to be in whatever that was. Tape bomb during slow markets. Fancy word for drug dealing. Supply chain. International supply chain. Dakota, is it true that Project X tracks traders? I have no idea, man. That there's a lot of misinformation out there where people just try and get clicks and views. But I have no inside information where I can say yes or no. And I think it would be inappropriate for me to say yes or no. Dakota, if you're in supply chain, have you thought about getting a CMA? I have not. No, like I said, I'm a full-time trader. I've been a full-time trader for most of my life. I do a little bit of contracting work in supply chain because you're not going to be sitting here trading. That's just one of the worst things that a trader can do is sit here in front of your computer screen 8 hours a day, all day. Like 8 hours a day. Oh, that brings me to look at it's funny we're talking about this is because this is so true. I made a comment today. Here's my Twitter or Twix, whatever you want to call it. I've had this as my background when I created this account, and I've had it there for a reason. And there's this show called Soul. It's a cartoon from 2020. It's a great one. It's one of my favorites. And there's a scene, and this scene is just really, really true when it comes to us as traders, right? We're so focused and we're so, I don't know, dedicated, motivated, and that turns into even like addiction, and it gets to us, and we lose track of some things that really matter. And so that's why I'm saying we don't need to be in front of our computer screen 8 hours a day. You don't need to. We lose track of life. Yes, we lose track of life. You lose track of the things that really matter, and trading is a tool to, gain us that freedom. And once you get that freedom, it's 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 if you're, trading a couple sessions. But then the rest of the time, what do? You should take that time, work on yourself. I did that, and then I decided that, hey, I think I'm going to try and do something productive. And I got into supply chain, and I enjoyed it. Doing meetings, working with international companies, and it was very nice. Don't fall through a manhole. Yeah. Yeah, when I worked in supply, I was mainly Asian session. I remember I come from an options background. Options background is and you don't need anything more than a couple hours a day. But for some it's light, and for others it gets us out of time. Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about these futures markets, right? We're trading right now, and it might be 1 a.m. for you. Shout out to Aaron. It was morning for him. He's just waking up, preparing, and then he prepares for the London Open. And for me, it's getting ready for bed. Getting ready for bed, preparing, doing analysis. You see, I do the same thing every single night. It could be very boring. Look at the top-down review. This past month has not been boring, though, right? This past month has been pretty opposite of boring. It's been crazy. It's been insane, the level of volatility. But as things start to calm down, then we'll be looking for overnight trades. We'll be looking for overnight trades, holding a trade, placing trades at this time, right? Getting into a position and just letting it run overnight. I demonstrate that relatively often until we start to get some insane volatility and lots of headline risk. So I've stopped holding trades overnight. But if we can start to see more consistency like we did this week and we're doing this week, then I'm going to be placing some overnight trades more frequently, and we can start talking about some. Did you copy trade? When I started at Topstep, I at first I was against copy trading. Like, that's stupid. That's not realistic. And then the more I was with a prop firm, I'm like, okay, let's try it. Topstep had 3 accounts. You can have 3 XFAs. I copy traded 3 XFAs. I made money. I got those funds transferred from XFAs to a live account. I'm like, yeah, this is easy. I mean, a prop firm's gonna pay me real money for trading in a sim account. This is just silly. And that's how it was. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll trade a sim account and make money in a sim account, and you send me real money. And I took advantage of it as much as I could. And then, of course, last year I went through that a few times, and then I did it again. And then Topstep's like, okay, we're gonna offer 5 XFAs. And then I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna copy trade 5 XFAs and trade a sim and take advantage of it and make a few $100,000. And so I did that a few times last year and enjoyed it. Like $500,000. Yeah, we're watching this market. I'm looking for a short opportunity here though still. Waiting for Australia CPI. Yeah, okay. That's gonna be happening in about 15 minutes. Trinity, did they ban me? No, Topstep did not ban me. You get moved to a live, and once you're in a live account, then you can no longer copy trade or trade in an XFA. Does Australian CPI affect us markets? That's debatable. Will it affect us? My opinion, not really. Not as much as the United States, like US CPI, but I think they'll have some effects. I'm going to get into a short here again. Have a wide stop and see if we could catch that trade to the downside to 500. But, you know, if you are trading and if you want to see something move with Australian CPI, there's Forex. You could trade Forex here. You could trade, look, here's the Australian dollar, 6A. This is Australian dollar. You could trade Forex here at Topstep. I know there's a lot of traders that come from a Forex background, but yeah, you could trade Forex futures. Coach, you're long silver. Long silver. Maybe we could watch to see how this Australian dollar reacts to the CPI. Simply put, thank you. Of course. The best loser wins. Who he is, chat, is a break-even trader. Here. Sure. Don't retract the message you put in. If you're gonna come to this YouTube and troll me like a man. Don't retract a message. Trinity asking the questions. Yo, Dakota, I found good success with 5 micros, setting a personal day loss limit at 250. Going through this. You silly goose. You spelt the sentence. Oh man, it's okay. I was going to rewrite it, bro. Hey, you know, there's one thing I've noticed in this prop firm industry. The trolls are like bottom of the bucket trolls. It's like, you gotta be bottom of the bucket, man. You watched Sinners? I did. It was a great movie. Shout out to the chat. Trolls with skills issues. Oh, now you're complaining. You're gonna come in here, troll, and then complain when I snap back. I won't spoil. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm saying Sinners, the movie, is a very great movie. Definitely recommend. You, me, trade-off. I've been having a trade-off since last year. Where are you at? Leaderboard. How many micros do you trade on MNQ? Well, right now we're in 1 micro. One v one me, bro. We go gamer mode. Let's see what's the Aussie dollar doing. I forgot to use the arrow indicator. That was it. Why only 1? I'm just curious. This is slow markets, and I want to build a position. I'm not going to sit here and jump in immediately. This is not an amazing setup. If you're not on a leaderboard, then shut up. Hey, you know what's always been interesting? You know, I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to let it be. $30 NQ short is not a good idea. No, and you're out here. 30 NQ short. Ever tried a 1 second chart? No, I've looked at it. It's just, especially at this time. What do you do if you are kind of feeling burnt out? Take a break. If you're feeling burnt out, just turn off the computer, take a break, go relax, go do something else. Yeah, JT, that's kind of the point. It's like, I could reply, but I don't want to waste my energy. It's fun for a little bit, but then why waste? I just wait to buy NQ at 505. That's what we're looking for. I'm looking for the... we can move back down to 500. Will we get it? I don't know. I don't know. What would you say was the hardest thing for you to get the hang of when it came to trading? I think smaller size. Smaller size is definitely the hardest thing for traders, to realize that it's important to size down and focus on the process, because we're all trying to, you know, copy trade so many trades, get into a big position and make thousands of dollars, when in reality it's not really how you find that success. You might find it, it might be temporary, but the true consistency comes when you realize that it's not about the dollar amounts, and it's more about the process. And you could develop that same process trading, say, good example, 1 micro compared to 10 minis. Oh, chat. The best loser wins. Don't take stuff so personal. If you're worried about what someone says, you definitely need bigger problems. I add a long contract. Coach, my daily loss limit be smaller than my daily profit target. Typically you want, if you're going to do a daily profit target and a daily loss limit, you want those to be equal or have your target greater. We good? We good? Dakota, are you planning to hold a position overnight? If I'm not seeing one tonight. If there is one set up, I'm definitely willing to take it. I'm going to add to this. I'm now short 2. I'm over here watching this 5-minute chart, and you can see where we had that sell-off. We're getting a bit of a pullback. And so I am looking for this to maybe have a continuation. So pullback, continuation. Can we bounce it up to these 40s and maybe 50s? Sure. Then I'll take a loss. I'll take a loss if we continue to bounce. This isn't one that I'm going to be holding overnight for sure. Building very slowly, thinking of sizing up, but I'm afraid I'll lose it fast. What should I do? Stick with a small size. Stick with that. I made a comment earlier in this year saying, you know, the hardest thing a trader can do right now is if you can trade 1 micro for 1 full year. 1 micro for an entire year. Develop a process and gain consistency. Like say you're averaging 10 points a day. Maybe you're averaging 50 points a week with 1 micro, and you do that for an entire year. Now it's average. Some days you'll win, some days you'll lose. But the idea is developing a solid process that you have the confidence to do that. And not a lot of traders, I don't think I know a trader who would be willing to do that, because traders are we're impatient, right? We want to get that instant gratification of that high dollar amounts. And as soon as you make a winning trade, you're like, oh man, if that was a mini or if that was 5 minis, then I would have made so much money. But that's not the idea. Traders who are typically at a prop firm are there for a reason. And you're trying to become consistent. You're trying to get consistent payouts. And that's what you need to focus on. And as soon as you find that consistency and you gain that confidence as a human, I'm like, gain that confidence that you could follow the process. You don't have to second guess yourself. And then you can start to size up. And usually it's a matter of time. My mentor review dork and short the VIX never told me to day trade anything smaller than M5 M3 chart with proper size and stops. I went zooming in on time and tick charts, tilting off noise for 2 years. That's basically what a lot of traders do. They zoom too far in, and they spend so much time getting very emotional over all the noise that, especially in the NASDAQ, right? The NASDAQ is very volatile. It's very noisy with these sporadic moves. And when you're zoomed in, like if you're really zoomed in on say like a 1 minute chart and like zoomed in, you overanalyze everything, you overthink everything, you self-sabotage. And I've seen traders do that for, like you said, years before you zoom out and realize, man, I need to smaller size, have possibly wider stops. Do you feel like you have a true statistical edge? If so, how would you articulate your edge? So statistically, I would say my edge is risk management. The best way for me to articulate an edge that I trade and having it talk, also risk management, is the fact that I focus on a process that will not allow me to blow up my entire account, right? It's about having a positive expectancy. It's about understanding, hey, have a daily loss limit. Worst case scenario for me in a day is about $5,000. If I go on tilt, if I blow up, whatever happens, I know for me my worst case scenario for that day is $5,000 in this account. And then I know some of my good days, 10,000. I had 12,000 on Friday. I had 10,000 on Monday. Today I had 3,000. And so it's just understanding risk management, understanding that every single trade is basically a data point. So I don't know. I wondered sometimes that control of emotions can be an edge, where it's do you really have an edge in trading? Well, you wouldn't say I have an edge because I'm using one indicator, but it's more of the emotional, maybe experience side, right? Where I don't mind what happens to this trade. I don't care. This is just one trade out of thousands. But I go on tilt. I've been on tilt before. I know you're not making 12K trading micros. What's your real size? My answer is it depends. Just last week, if you tuned into slow markets last week, I was short 5 minis. I was long 5 minis too. I had 2 nights last week where I made $7,000 each night. And I was 5 minis because I like the trade setup. This one's not that great of a trade setup, and I'm scaling in using micros. How do you get yourself out of tilt? You just lock out and you walk away. Just walk out and just lock yourself out, walk away, turn off the computer. As soon as you get on tilt, it's not worth it. Come back the next day. It's almost like arguing with a person, right? When you're arguing with a person, your voice starts to get you start to raise your voice, they start to raise their voice. You say something that you don't mean, they say something they don't mean, and then it just starts to escalate. And then you don't realize until after the fact, you're like, I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I shouldn't have said this and that and that. And it's kind of how trading is, right? You get emotional and then you don't realize until after the damage is already done that you should have never done something. And it's difficult to identify that in the moment. Call it the heat of the moment. It's called the heat of the moment. Means revenge trading. And this is a slowish market, another slow market tonight. And we have 30 seconds till data comes out. 30 seconds till data comes out. We're watching the Australian dollar because we can, right? It's the Forex or currency futures here at Topstep. We could trade those. And we have data coming out. I'm going to get out of this. I don't like it. I was looking for us to break down there, so I'm going to limit my risk down $52. Let's see how this data comes out. Eventually you won't do stupid stuff anymore. If only we had somebody just watching behind our back saying, don't do that. Don't do that. That's stupid. That would be nice. All right. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. See, there's the market moving. This is the Australian dollar. I'm just going to test something. I'm going to see what is... Okay, it's $5 a tick. $5 a tick. Okay, I'm going to get back into this. Let's see if we can have a breakdown now. It didn't really affect the NASDAQ, right? Little pump up, back down, consolidate here. Let's see if we can have that breakdown. All right, I'm short 3 micros now. Short 3. You're enjoying this music? I'm enjoying this music as well. Okay, we're gonna add. I'm gonna add to that. See if we could get that continuation. Hesitating there for a minute. Need to see it go. I'll answer questions. We'll get back to the questions and conversation after this trade. Doomlord got called live again. Nice. Nice work. You're happy, slow markets? Hanging out here in these upper 20s. Any orders on... Oh, look at the Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar catching a bid. Yeah, that's a one heck of a candle. See? Currency futures. You can trade those here at Topstep. Crude oil going crazy. Oh look, I want this trade to. I might have to just bail out of this one. Yeah, not worth it. Not worth it. I'm out. I wanted to see that breakdown, but we didn't get any follow through, so I'm gonna take that loss. I might have got out early. We'll see. I don't like the fact that we held those 20s. That's unfortunate. F in the chat. F in the chat. Let's watch the Aussie dollar. Let's take a look at crude. All the F's in the chat. For that. For the NASDAQ short. Big old fat L. Not much is going on in crude. Just a little bit of bounce. What's gold doing? I'm actually in for the exact opposite. I do believe we can now rally up. I would not mind a long here in the Nas. Now, this changed the way I'm viewing this. We could go back up into this range. One of us. Break through these 40s and we'll start to see 50s come in. Let's take a look at the minis. Oh, that looks good. That looks like a nice long in the minis. We'll see though. We're not out of the woods yet. We're down 0.5% still. So let's get it. Now that I have a decent defined risk now. 24 points. 24 points. And let's build as we break out. Let's see if I could build a position as we break out. Now I'll look for this. Still in micros. Nothing crazy. If this goes down, we're going to take L's. That's 3 L's. That'd be 3 L's in a row, everybody. Shorts are good now. We're taking L's all night. $30 push-ups. Ooh, yeah, I need to start that, right? You take a loss and you do some push-ups. That's something I need to get started. $10 push-ups per L. Taking the L's on a smaller size. I'm more concerned about. I'd be more worked up about the burpees. Do push-ups and burpees on air. The heck with the money. I don't want. More worried about the push-ups and burpees than the $100. This is a chop fest in slow markets too. Chop fest, chop fest, chop fest. Let's get out of everything. Let's get out of everything. Flat everything. And see if it will give us an opportunity. An opportunity. This thing might, if this sells off down to 500. Dang it. Yeah, look at the buyer stepping in those 20s again. We'll see. I'm not seeing anything else tonight. Hot garbage price action. That's for sure. The overnight trades are probably more tempting. Overnight trades, how's the Nikkei doing? Not doing too much. I think the overnight trades are going to be coming into play a lot better. And getting the faked out here, back and forth is the way we are going tonight, everybody. I if this market continues to hold in the NASDAQ, I might be getting into a long again. But yeah, this is just not for me. Crude is a buy. No more nights. So glad I didn't trade. Yeah, sometimes not trading. And this is why you see me in micros right now. This is not the best for tonight. I definitely looking at higher time frames and thinking that overnight trades are going to be a better play maybe going forward. Let's see how the CPI tomorrow is. Let's see how things shake out, and if we see more consistent markets, more low volatile markets like this, then overnight trades are going to become a play, and that's where I'm going to lean towards. I'm going to have Coach Jay on with me tomorrow, which would be great. We could maybe start talking about the overnight trades, but we went through times of high volatility, and so maybe we're seeing this market get back to, lack of a better word, normal, and we could maybe start to see some overnight trades come into play. This market's going to sell off to 500, isn't it? We sell off, and then it's just like, damn it, we just got chopped around. Jimmy Trade says, no, Codex G. Topstep TV equals I want you to blow combines. Wake up. It's actually the opposite, bud. How many times have you heard on Topstep TV that we do not want, especially me, don't want to see traders hitting reset, sizing down, size down. Look straight to those 500s. Prophecy. If the market goes down, there will be more sellers than buyers. Uh-huh. Yeah, if somebody blows a combine from Topstep TV following someone's trades, hopefully that's a lesson. Hopefully that's a lesson. Well, there's that sell-off we wanted. It's unfortunate this market was a little choppy up here. So you have a trade setup, you have a trade idea, and sometimes you just can't. You miss it. Been there, done that. I don't trade distracted nor sitting down. You don't trade sitting down? Do you have a standing desk? Show me 500s. Dakota, you forgot to FOMO and jump into shorts at 500 and watch it go against you. It didn't even hit 500. You just blew your account? I don't know how could you blow your account following this tonight? Standing desk rules. Chase it, Dakota. You trade crisscross applesauce? Chat's getting spicy now. If you blew your account in this price action, you gotta wake up. Maybe take some trading advice of sizing down. Everybody here that I talk to, all the coaches, everyone says the same thing. Size down. Micros. Don't risk. Don't, like, why do that? Congrats on life. $200. Sometimes I'm convinced that some of these people are Might be paid for. We could, I understand that this is the best loser wins. This is kind of what I'm referring to. These troll bots. Can you add a song name thing so we know what songs are playing? It's a playlist. I don't think you're a holy. You're not holy. The best loser wins. But there's a difference between you and what just came into the chat. Ooh, here's a question. With all of the anger and rage that some of these trolls might have, who is your favorite person to watch? Who's your favorite person to watch? Let's hear it. Hear it in the chat. Who is your favorite person that you enjoy watching? Maybe read, maybe a book, maybe, yeah, let's hear it. And why? Hoag, MP, myself. What do you think you're here for? Lady Gaga. Oh, he rips. ICT. Britney Spears. Come on. Come on. Uncle Ted. Jack's dad. You like when Robert explains the nerdy stuff? Yeah, if I held my first contracts, it's difficult to hold through this. I'm watching it. And many more. Tuckman. Bloomberg. He's gonna make you a millionaire. Nutty Bar. He's an interesting one. Baron, I'm gonna have Baron on Thursday. Thank you, made 1,000. Nikola Jokic. Butchering sayings. I butcher sayings all the time. Baron has a nice mustache. I don't switch accounts. You don't see me switching accounts and posting different accounts. This has been the same account since July. There's some coaches here. I mean, just recently too. I think. Let me make sure. I don't want to misspeak, but yeah, I want to make sure I say this correctly because he deserves so much credit. Where? Yes, that's Coach Ray. Everybody, yeah, Joey. Coach Ray has had his live account here at Topstep for over 5 years. Right? You don't see him out there on the Twitterverse chanting, selling discords, doing that. And he's a teacher. So, yeah, Coach Ray, one of the best. Like, that is, like, yeah, there's Coach Jay. Some of those other coaches, like Coach Ray, Coach Jay, Paul, the amount of education and experience that they have is amazing. Yeah, Coach Ray. You wouldn't even think, yeah, who would have thought, right? You wouldn't be like, we're listening to this coach at a firm, and it's like, oh, does he even trade live? It's like, dude, he's kept his live account at a prop firm for 5 years. Amazing stuff. There's a difference. There's levels to this game when you compare real live traders to what you see on social media. Who, it's kind of like anybody, I'm sure most of the traders in here know the Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Here's a house, here's a car. We, here, put you out to the public so everybody else wants that house, that lifestyle. It's a Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That's kind of what you see on social media. This NASDAQ short's paying. Yeah, I've learned a lot from day trading futures from Coach Ray and some of the other coaches. That was a good movie. Coach Robert. Dobie's a cool drummer. Ted. Yeah, moderators are doing it. The bad thing is the trolls will always find a way to change their username, get a new email, and do that. I mean, they have nothing else to do with their lives, right? Than to be a troll on the line, on the internet. The Joneses. What have I learned from coaching? I've learned a lot from different markets. I've never traded lean hogs. I've never even looked at some of these other markets. Like that, some of the ideas that the way they trade. Different trading styles. It's great to see. Mick, the risk managers. Tom Hoagland. All right, let's take a look at, we're coming up on time here. Does this market continue to sell off? Does this market continue to sell off? We didn't get to 500 yet. We have not got to 500. I am down $94. $94. And I think that might be where I end it. I think this might be where I end it, everybody. I'm not seeing anything else. We didn't get to 500s even. We're actually bouncing off this a little bit. And the more I watch it, the more I would be tempted to buy. So I think this is going to be me saying I'm done for the night. Minus $94. Thank you so much. Can't wait to be called up to live and contribute. Take a long. Do we just get in? We'll make 15K tomorrow. No dinner tonight. No dinner tonight. Yogurt and. It's a yogurt and granola type night for me. Gold's flushing. Gold's selling back off. Yeah, ramen. Had the trade idea, right? Yeah, right idea. Just didn't execute it. Just didn't hold the trade. Didn't execute it. See ya. Diet is good as well. So I think we call it there. Okay, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow with Mr. David Green. And then I'll have Coach Jay on tomorrow. And then again, Baron. And if you guys missed it, remember, please, I am looking for Wrong one. That's the wrong link. Wrong link. The casting call. So always looking for people to come on. We'll see. We'll see there. There's the casting call form. If you haven't filled it out, go in, take a look. So there it is. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow. Another good one tonight. Unfortunately, we just couldn't take advantage of that move. We got the move we wanted, but not the money. Take care.